I will not stand for it. Not as Commander-in-Chief, but also not as an American. None of us should. So, if these allegations prove to be true, it is dishonorable, it is disgraceful, and I will not tolerate it, period.
Remember that a year ago, President Obama saying he won't stand for misconduct at VA hospitals. Now reports of more misconduct surfacing, and joining us right now to discuss this is investigative reporter Sarah Westwood from the Washington Examiner. Sarah, it's great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so your new column, you talk about the GOP vowing to investigate a report that 1/3 of vets died waiting for their VA benefits. In that report, you quote Congressman Tim Huelskamp of Kansas saying, "We've discovered the unexpected, something longer perhaps even than the list of excuses the VA has made for failing our veterans. Unfortunately, that is the apparent list of deceased veterans who never received the VA care they deserved." How is this still happening even after pleas from the president or claims from the president like we just heard?
Well, on its surface, you would wonder why misconduct is still going on at the VA. There's been so much negative attention. But when you look at what's been done since these allegations came to light, there's been very few, if any, officials that have been removed from their positions. There's been no changes in policy at the VA of any kind of substance. And you're seeing the same excuses continue to come from the leadership of the VA, and things are certainly not improving. Now, this new report that came out earlier this week suggests that 1 in 3 veterans died while waiting to see if they were going to be eligible for the benefits they earned, because the VA's backlog is so great at this point that they can't even look at the applications that they've already received, let alone solicit new applications from veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan.
We kind of saw Eric Shinseki almost be a sacrificial lamb in the beginning of this process. When you talk to folks on Capitol Hill, are you hearing more and more calls for Bob McDonald's head now?
The issue isn't so much the Bob McDonnell or the leadership at the very top. It's the middle managers. It's the people who are managing these facilities that are so mismanaged, and yet they remain in their positions. These are the people that are driving what's going on the ground and interacting with veterans every day, and who are allowing these massive backlogs of applications to pile up, who are allowing these falsified patient appointment logs to go unchecked. And those are the types of people that need to be removed, and the ones that don't get the media attention. And so there's not public calls for their heads the way, like you said, there was for Eric Shinseki.
All right, we're also looking at some reports out now that said the VA may shut down some hospitals if the organization doesn't get more money. Of course, after everything we hear, the taxpayer isn't going to want to throw good money after bad. When you hear this type, it has to be very hard for veterans to hear that type of information.
Right, especially considering that there are construction projects, like, for instance, one to build a Denver hospital that's billions of dollars over budget because the contractors haven't been given proper oversight, because the VA has no concept of limiting money on these types of projects. And then for VA officials to come out and say, we're going to have to shut down valid operating hospitals in order to, patch up these budget shortfalls because Congress, you're not giving us enough money. Well, just look at the way the money they are given is managed, and you question why Congress would ever give them another dime.
You have to ask that question, and we appreciate you for digging into this issue. Sarah Westwood, investigative reporter for the Washington Examiner. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll have you back soon.
Thanks for having me.